All right, tonight we're here at the annual New Year's Eve potato drop. The energy is high, people are ready to ring in the new year, the potato is right there, and we're getting ready for the countdown. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't guessed it yet, we're in Idaho. I'm David Coatney, and I'm a web designer. The beauty of web design is that my clients are scattered all over the country. That gives me the ability to live where I want, travel where I want, and do work on the road. Along the way, I like to check out unique places, so I encourage you to join me on these adventures. Everyone knows about mainstream hotels and franchise restaurants, but I want to hit up the truly unique. From weird restaurants and lodging to unusual laws, history, and towns, this is the states you think you know. This week, we're in the state of Idaho. What comes to mind when you think of Idaho? Probably this, right? Well, there's more to the state than you may realize. Idaho is a fun place with ski resorts, national parks, more miles of river than any other state, and all types of unique places just waiting to be discovered. But we'll begin this week's journey with a rare snack. Now, when you ask someone outside of Idaho what they know about the state, one of the first things that usually comes to mind is potatoes. So it probably wouldn't surprise you to learn that Idaho produces more potatoes than any other state. It may not even surprise you to learn they have an entire museum dedicated to our starchy friend in Blackfoot, Idaho. But today, I'm here for other reasons. I've heard rumors of a potato ice cream. Naturally, my interest was piqued, so I had to try this bad boy out for myself. All right, we're here with Lou Aaron of Westside Drive-In, famous for the ice cream potato. Now, Lou, what inspired the ice cream potato?
Well, the state of Idaho actually inspired it because we're known for potatoes. So I thought, since Idaho likes ice cream just as much as everybody else, that I come up with an inspired dessert for the state of Idaho. So we came up in 1990 for the state centennial. We came up with the name Idaho Ice Cream Potato. Okay. The potato itself has been around a lot longer than that. In the 1940s, it was a surprise dessert for the governor at a banquet, and it just lay dormant for about 40 years, and then I picked it back up, and the rest is history. Okay. Now, it looks like an actual potato. How is it made? Yeah, that's the catch. People look at it and they're just dumbfounded that we could put ice cream inside a potato, but that's not it at all. It's 100% ice cream, 15% butterfat, and we roll it in cocoa, bitter cocoa, which actually people can't figure that out because bitterness of the cocoa is just, how could you put that on an ice cream? But it actually blends very well with it. And then we split it open like a baker, and we put whipped cream, nuts, and cookies on top and serve it on a bed of chocolate syrup. Okay, great. Mind if we give it a try? I think we should. Perfect, let's go. All right, let's give it a try. Boy, it is really good. I like that outer coating gives it a very unique texture. It's tasty. It's got whipped cream instead of sour cream. It's got chocolate shavings and nuts and mixed in a chocolate sauce. I like the ice cream potato. This is very good. Well, it's been fun hanging out with the fine folks at the Western Idaho Fair, and even more fun starting my day off with dessert. But now it's time to drive north for a sit-down meal at Cedar's Floating Restaurant. But first, let's take a look at some of the strange laws here in Idaho. Every state has strange laws still on the books, things that make us scratch our heads. They're rarely enforced, but still entertaining. These are the strange laws of Idaho. In Tamarack, it is illegal to buy onions after dark without a permit. Makes you wonder if there's a black market for onions. Psst, I've got onions. In Pocatello, it is prohibited for pedestrians and motorists to display frowns, grimaces, scowls, threatening and glowering looks, gloomy and depressed facial expressions,
generally all of which reflect unfavorably upon the city's reputation. Now, that had a lot of synonyms. I couldn't memorize it. I'm sure an attorney was involved somewhere in the verbiage of this. Now, obviously, this law was passed with a little bit of humor in mind. I'm pretty sure it's not enforced. Public displays of affection are limited to under 18 minutes. Hey, you can get a lot done in 18 minutes. You guys ready? And now. It is illegal in the state of Idaho to go fishing off the back of a camel. And in Boise, the same goes for giraffes. Apparently, this was a problem at one point. It is illegal to live in a dog kennel or house unless you're a dog. But they didn't say anything about just staying the night. Now, normally, if you're sleeping in the doghouse, you probably did something to deserve it. But in the small town of Cottonwood, Idaho, that's not always a bad thing. Behind me is the world's largest beagle, known as Sweet Willie. But this isn't just some roadside attraction, it's a bed and breakfast. As I'm standing here right now, guests are actually staying inside of that beagle. The Dog Bark Park Inn is a small family-run operation with 3 employees, Francis, Dennis, and Sprocket. Now, Sprocket here is the company greeter, in case you couldn't tell. And he does a pretty good job of staying on top of things. I've been told attempts have been made to train him to answer the phone, which hasn't quite taken yet, but he does get the mail. So he seems to be pulling his weight around here, and I think they keep him pretty busy. So Francis, it's a very unique place you guys have here. Obviously, you guys are dog lovers. What inspired the inn?
So, well, dogs themselves, that's for sure. We have been chainsaw carvers specializing in dogs for a very long time. Hence the theme to build a roadside attraction that announces what we're all about here. And in one way or the other, it's about our love for dogs and people's appreciation for their pets.
Okay, so it actually started with the chainsaw art then.
That's right, it did. Dennis started carving, now 30 plus years ago. The Beagle breed of dog was the very first breed that Dennis started carving. Hence, when we came to build the big dogs, they had to be a Beagle. And over all of this time, the Beagle is still our most popular piece. Artistically, it's a great piece to do.
So they just got bigger as you went then.
That's right. And interestingly, the little dog out there looks like the puppy, hence you'd think he's younger.
Right.
But he's not. He was built first. That was pretty successful, and Dennis thought he'd like to do one more big building project, and what better than to build a bigger Beagle, and then what are we going to do with a bigger Beagle? Came the idea to invite the world to come and stay in him.
Nice.
But that was not our original thought. It was just to build an even larger Beagle.
Nice.
Yes.
So what can guests expect when they book a stay at the Dog Bark Park Inn?
Well, they can expect that they've got the whole big Beagle to themselves. Instead of the cabin in the woods, it's the Beagle house out on the prairie. So they can expect after the sun goes down to have the whole Dog Bark Park grounds to themselves. Have quite an eclectic library of pet-themed items and games, and then favorites from our personal library over the years. So we hope they would kick back, sit out on the deck on a warm evening, reflect on what it is to occupy the world with dogs.
Well, Francis, I appreciate you having us out here.
Oh, well, hey,
So
great to meet you.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely one of the coziest and most unique B&Bs I've seen. So the next time you're in Idaho and need a roof over your head, consider the Dog Bark Park Inn. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go mark my territory. Everyone knows Idaho is the country's leading producer of potatoes, but what other popular menu item is Idaho also the nation's leading producer of? Is it A, strawberries, B, trout, C, salmon, or D, asparagus? The answer when we return. Water. Water. Oh, hey, question. Where can you find the tallest single-structured sand dune? At Bruneau Dunes State Park, of course. All right, so it's not the tallest in the world, but it is the tallest in North America. And still, you wouldn't expect to see this in Idaho. This single structured sand dune over here actually rises 470 feet above the surrounding desert floor and looks more like a scene out of the Sahara. Now, to find that water. What would you get if you took Niagara Falls, greatly reduced the number of tourists, and put it out west? Well, you'd probably get something like this. It's called Shoshone Falls, and it's actually 45 feet taller than Niagara. And no surprise, it's commonly referred to as Niagara of the West. At 212 feet tall with a width of 900 feet, Shoshone Falls is one of the largest waterfalls in the U.S. Shoshone gained its name from the Lemhi Shoshone, or salmon eaters, who depended on the salmon of the Snake River as their primary source of food. You see, the falls essentially serve as a wall for the salmon swimming upstream. Once they've reached this point in the Snake River, it's the end of the line. As a result, the salmon population here is abundant to say the least. Along with potatoes, Idaho is also the top producer of lentils. Moscow, Idaho is part of a region known as the lentil capital of the world. Wow, I could actually feel the boringness seeping out of that fact as I said it. I've got to come up with better material. And now the fine folks of Idaho have some words of advice for out-of-staters.
Idaho is not in the Midwest. Seriously, guys, have you looked at a map?
There's more to eat here than potatoes. Hi! So if you didn't know, a group of cows is called a herd, or a group of sheep you might have heard is called a pack, but a group of Broncos is actually called a team. So everyone here is a team and a family. Go Broncos!
Contrary to popular belief, not every Idahoan has mastered the use of nunchucks.
Idaho's state fruit is the huckleberry.
Seriously guys, there is no Z in Boise. It's pronounced Boy-C.
And now it's time for your top 5 countdown of most interesting names for cities and towns in the state of Idaho. Coming in at number 5 is the comfort and safety of headquarters. Number 4, Cream Can Junction. Number 3, Slick Poo. That's just wrong. Number 2, Beer Bottle Crossing. Not sure if they have a litter problem or what's going on there. And finally at number 1, a town that even Charlie Brown can relate to. Good grief. So which of the following is Idaho also known for? If you guessed B, trout, you guessed correctly. In fact, it's not even close. Nearly 85% of all commercial trout sold in the United States is produced in the Hagerman Valley and Idaho. And you thought I was going to say salmon. The next stop in my journey takes me to the most buoyant restaurant I have had the privilege of eating at. Cedar's Floating Restaurant in Coeur d'Alene is definitely one of a kind. So grab your gear, we're heading out on the lake. Literally. A lot of restaurants have had the idea of building on the lake, meaning at the edge of it. But very few build out in the lake. And while most customers will access the restaurant through the walkway bridge, it's also unique in that it can be accessed by boats. Just drive right up to the dock, park your boat, and enjoy a nice dinner. The Cedar's Floating Restaurant has been afloat since 1965, offering 360-degree views of Lake Coeur d'Alene at the juncture where it meets the Spokane River. Now you're probably wondering how it stays afloat. Well, the restaurant is buoyed by 600,000 pounds of concrete-encased styrofoam. Of course, having a floating restaurant doesn't come without complications. Since its inception, the restaurant has closed on a few occasions due to flooding, but has always bounced back strong and more resilient. Over the years, it has built quite the reputation for stellar food and service in an amazing setting, and after a long day of driving, a nice sit-down meal on the lake was just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the cedar plank salmon.
Perfect. We'll get that started for you.
Appreciate it. I was told they are somewhat known for their cedar plank salmon, so of course I had to see what all the fuss is about. Besides, I'm eating on the water. I feel like seafood sort of comes with the territory. What else am I going to eat at a floating restaurant? A hot dog? The chef prepared my salmon with an amazing blend of herbs and grilled it slowly over wine-soaked cedar planks. They have a good-sized menu, but their salmon is definitely one of the more popular items.
Here you go, sir. Here's your dinner.
Beautiful.
Enjoy your salmon.
Looks great, thank you. All right, so let's see what it's all about. This looks good. Oh, that's very good. It's very tender, very moist, probably from the way it steams in the heat of the grill. You can also taste a little bit of the smokiness from the grill, and it's definitely has some of the woodsy flavors from the cedar. If you're ever in the area, I would definitely recommend. Very good. After some time, I was greeted by Ariel, who showed up for a quick chat.
Hi,
Hi,
my name is Ariel.
you're Ariel, David.
Nice
oh,
to
yes.
meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Did you enjoy your salmon this evening?
Oh, I did. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So what are some of the other highlights on your menu?
Well, we're famous for our prime rib and also our beer garden filet. Pan-seared sea scallops are a hit with a gorgonzola cream sauce. And you gotta try our mile-high mud pie.
Now, the restaurant has been here for a while, but you guys have made some more recent renovations and additions. Is that correct?
We have, in 2015, we renovated the outdoor deck here to allow for year-round dining. We added some heaters, some sliding glass doors, and we also did some work on the dock that allows for boaters to come and dock their boat and come and join us for dinner.
Now, the restaurant isn't the only attraction you guys have set up here, is it?
No, we have a world-class golf course that has the first floating green. The golf course is beautifully maintained. Nice, beautiful scenery.
Well, the golf course sounds fascinating. Mind if we go take a look?
Oh, I would love to.
Just a few minutes away on the shores of the same lake is what Golf Digest once described as America's most beautiful resort golf course. With meticulously manicured fairways, breathtaking surroundings, and a 14th hole like no other, the Coeur d'Alene is definitely one of a kind. In fact, Golf Digest was so impressed with this particular course, they also had this to say: the Coeur d'Alene is what every resort should be. It's not just upscale, it's posh. You aren't just pampered here, you're spoiled. It's not just an escape, it's an experience. I took a tour of the fairways and was equally impressed. With panoramic views of the lake from just about every hole, the world's only floating green, and custom luxury golf carts with touchscreen GPS, this was a perfect end to a truly one-of-a-kind day on the lake. With a 14th hole on an island, it goes without saying that golf balls are going to end up in the water. Just how many golf balls do you think are retrieved from the lake each year? Is it A, 800, B, 8,000, C, 2,500, or D, 25,000? The answer when we return. After a long day of driving, I was ready to relax. The next stop took me to a hotel that transports you into a different world. Which world exactly depends on the room. The Blackswan Inn was opened in 1997 and has since expanded to 15 luxurious themed suites, each just as unique as the others. This hotel allows you to leave reality behind and enter a world of pure enchantment. Just like stepping into the pages of a storybook, it reminds us all it's okay to be a kid again and just pretend. A night here is guaranteed to be a relaxing stay, as all of the suites come with a fireplace, two-person jetted tub, big screen TV, and a breakfast basket delivered to your room. Some suites even have extra amenities, such as a sauna, aquarium, and even waterfalls. Oh, wow. Oh, I love staying in caves. Feels like I'm returning to my roots, you know? It feels like I should build a fire pit here in the middle of the floor. Although, probably wouldn't get invited back if I did that. Yeah, maybe I should resist that urge. This is really cool. Bed is comfy too. Hey, I just noticed there are lights on the ceiling. I guess those are supposed to be stars. Now, what caveman would put his bed right underneath a hole in the ceiling? Every time it rains, you get a rude awakening. I guess the modern day caveman would be someone that still uses fax machines, right? And just to add that extra touch, this room even comes with a chromotherapy champagne bubbler tub. Now, in case you're wondering what that is, it releases thousands of bubbles from the bottom to massage your entire body and then comes with a chromotherapy lighting system that provides a soothing effect of a constant color wash. Blackswan Inn is the brainchild of owners Larry and Debbie, and their talents complement each other well.
Well, my wife and I went to a place that was a similar situation, the Theme Hotel, about 25 years ago, and I just looked around and I thought this would be fun to build and it would be great for our community, and so that's kind of where that came from.
Now, just looking around, I expect the prices to be a little bit higher than they actually are. You guys have done a great job of making this unique experience affordable.
Mm-hmm.
How have you kept costs low?
Well, by doing most of the work ourselves. I'm a building contractor, so I didn't have to hire a contractor to do it. And Debbie's the most talented person there is on the earth.
Oh.
She does. She does all the murals. She sculpts. She sews, and she even cleans the toilets.
Yeah. Yeah, I was admiring some of your painting work. Looks like you got some Michelangelo action going on, like way up there on the pretty high on the roof. So yeah. This hotel caters to a wide variety of tastes, from the Egyptian suite to the Mayan rainforest. In the Romeo and Juliet suite, I gave my riveting interpretation of Shakespeare. Romeo, oh Romeo, where you at? And for some of you anniversary lovebirds, ooh la la. Well guys, it is an amazing place that you have here. What's your mission? What do you want guests to walk away with at the end of the day?
Well, my answer would be we want them to feel refreshed and relaxed and ready to go and happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, one of the reasons why we built this is because people don't take time to enrich that most important relationship that they have, you know, between the couples, and so this gives them a reason to take time to spend time together. So we want, when they leave here, we want them to feel a better bond towards each other.
For more fun themes, you can also check out their sister hotel, Destinations Inn, which will take you around the world, all without ever leaving Idaho Falls. With world-class accommodations, pun intended, Destinations Inn offers 14 uniquely themed suites that allow you to stay in the city or country of your choosing, from Paris to New York and Rio to Venice. With everything these lodging opportunities have to offer, there's something here for just about everyone. And making a trip around the world has never been so easy. So just how many golf balls are retrieved from Lake Coeur d'Alene each year? If you guessed D, 25,000, you guessed correctly. Now that's a lot of missed drives. Well, it looks like that wraps up this week's adventure. With breathtaking natural beauty and no shortage of things to do, Idaho is slowly shaking its under-the-radar status. It's one of the fastest growing states in the country, and after spending a few days here, I can certainly see why. As for me, I'm heading to Utah now, so stay tuned for the next episode of The States You Think You Know.